What's going on, people? We are Tottenham TV. Bayern Munich 4, Tottenham 1, which was an onslaught at the Allianz Arena today. Oh, 1. I said Bayern Munich 4, Tottenham 0, which was an onslaught at the Allianz Arena. And look, it could have been many more. We saw Harry Kane miss that penalty in the opening 10, 15 minutes, whenever it was. Elise missed a gilt-edged chance. Goretzka missed a number of chances as well. I mean, it really could have been much, much worse than 4-0. And it was a shocking, absolutely shocking display from Tottenham Hotspur. We couldn't advance the ball up the pitch. We were rooted to going, one ball straight up the pitch. No one can make it stick. Kudus trying to do stuff on his own. Brennan Johnson completely non-existent. Pape Sarr getting consistently fouled, particularly in the first half. We just had no attacking patterns of play to our game whatsoever. Yes, we are playing a very strong opposition in Bayern Munich, the strongest opposition that we have played so far in pre-season. But it just carries on a theme that we've seen so far in pre-season, where Spurs cannot break down any sort of opposition, whether it's League One, whether it's Premier League opposition, whether it's Champions League opposition in terms of Bayern Munich. It's the same story pretty much every game, except this story, the other team had the quality to get the goals against us. And it didn't matter if it had their first team on or their second team on. We were chasing shadows for 90 minutes. It was absolutely shocking. And look, in the first half, I thought the back four were doing a decent job with Romero and Van der Ven, Spence at left back and Pedro Porro at right back. But then when it came to the second half, I mean, Romero could have easily been sent off with a number of challenges that he was putting in. He got booked and definitely could have had that second yellow card. If it was a Premier League or a competitive game where they had VAR, he probably would have been off. So, yeah, I don't think many players can walk off that pitch with their head held high. I thought Spence was good in the first half, defensively solid, then in the second half just kept giving the ball away consistently. And one of the times did lead to a goal. And even their kids, their 18-year-olds, 17-year-olds coming on and scoring worldies against us. But, yeah, the midfield was just pretty much non-existent today, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think it was a reality check about where we truly are at the moment, especially with the likes of Maddison out for a long time. Kulusevski, we don't know when he's going to be back. We know, obviously, we had a failed bid for Gibbs-White. All that creativity gone out of our midfield. And this is what we're left with when it comes to quality on the ball to beat teams who will play through teams who are looking to press us aggressively. And Bayern definitely did that. They were non-stop, they were relentless, and we just didn't have the quality to play through them. So we ended up a lot of the time going long. We ended up a lot of the time trying to go to Richarlison and to Kudus, and it ended up not exactly working out at all, to be honest. And they were feeding off scraps. We weren't able to progress the ball up the pitch. And on the flip side as well, we were told, or we were promised, a more resilient, a more pragmatic, a more organised Tottenham defensively, and we didn't get that today. Let's be, if we're being all honest.
No, we didn't get that at all. We didn't get that at all, but it didn't help when you're looking at the players trying to get the ball up the pitch. It just kept coming back the other way every single time. We were limited to pretty much Richarlison with a couple of snapshots in the first half. Later on in the game, Tell had an effort, Odegaard had an effort, and there was one header, I can't remember, it was the header Richarlison, where he should have really been doing better from. But that was pretty much all we had all game. When you're looking at Bayern, it was consistent chance creation pretty much throughout the whole 90 minutes, being able to cut through us like a knife through hot butter. I thought João Palhinha in his debut wasn't really at the races today. The midfield was just nowhere to be seen. There was a moment when Goretzka gets the ball on the edge of the area. All the time and space in the world, you're looking at a midfielder to go out and engage the man, put a foot in. And there's just nothing there. And it happened a couple of times. That just wasn't the only time it happened. There was just every time Bayern were passing it around on the edge of the area, there was no midfielder to go out there and try and put them under pressure.
Yeah, we were chasing shadows today. I think the midfield, apart from at times maybe Bentancur was the only one who was able to get his foot on the ball a bit, but him as well was trying very quick flicks around the corner. Some came off, some didn't. Palhinha, poor when he had an opportunity to switch the play. I think a couple of times they failed. They weren't very good. It was a real struggle today. I think if today was any sort of litmus test of how we're going to perform in the Super Cup next week against a team who are probably better than Bayern Munich at the moment, especially on the ball, and how we're going to be able to deal with them, then we're in for a long day next week. We're not ready for that challenge because today we were shown up all ends up today. It was men against boys. It was a massive gap in quality. It was a proper reality check. I think a lot of people coming into the season, having beaten Arsenal in the North London derby and shown a bit of resilience in some preseason games. Maybe some set piece improvements, all that kind of stuff. Maybe people thinking, okay, can we start the season well? And even me, I'm thinking, could we challenge that top 5? But today was a big reality check, I think, for everyone.
Yeah, I completely agree. And, you've got to remember it is just a pre-season game. It's just a friendly that in the grand scheme of things doesn't mean much. But we're all really happy after we won that North London derby. And I think, winning that North London derby probably says a lot more about Arsenal than it does Tottenham at this moment in time. But look, the reality is, right, it's another manager that does not have the tools he needs to go into a season. We're 6 days away from the Super Cup. We're about just over a week to go until the Premier League kickoff. And we do not have enough tools to go into the season with at this moment in time. There is no creative driving force through the centre of the park. Brennan Johnson, like we were saying before the game, like this is probably going to be the starting lineup that goes to Udine against PSG. Brennan Johnson is not a left winger. He's never been a left winger. He's always looked poor on the left wing. Why not start an actual left winger that we've got like an Odebear or a Tell? I just don't get that. Brennan has been piss poor all pre-season for me. Start players are actually looking like they can impact games. And Odebear came on and he did more in 5 minutes than Brennan did for the whole game. So for me, Odebear has to start on Wednesday. And we need a number 10. We need a creative driving force through that middle of the park if we're going to do anything this season. And we're starting the season worse off than we started off last season by a landslide.
And if you look at, last season we had Maddison, we had Son available, and we don't have those players, and Decky, and we don't have those players available this season. Last season we had Tell and Odebear available as well as Son. Now we've lost one of those options. It's not like we've gained one, we've lost one. I know Tell and Odebear, in theory, a bit more development. Hopefully they'll be better than they were last season, but still, that's the fact. I think today was a stark reminder of how far we have to go. And I think it wasn't just a quality thing today. I'm not saying, when I say attitude, I'm not talking about attitude when it comes to hard work and putting your body online, these kind of things. I watched that team, I'm pretty sure they're trying. When I say attitude of the team, I think Frank put it perfectly when he said it's a risk not to take risks. And I think that's what happened to us today.
We took no risks today.
Exactly. We were passive. We were way too scared to play balls into midfield and try and play in between each other. I think we always went long when it got too tough, always looking for the easy option. Whenever the things got too congested, you just played it back to one of the centre-backs or the goalkeeper and he decides to go long. Whenever we were in trouble, just give it to Kudus and see if he can beat 3 or 4 men by himself. There was no cohesion in attack, no one getting close to each other, no patterns of play. Defensively, again, I think we were very what do you call it? We weren't taking any risks defensively as well. That's why you see Goretzka free on the edge of the box, because everyone has dropped so far deep, is trying to block the shots and is trying to be so pragmatic defensively. Whereas a little bit of risk, you come out your shape, you try and get close to the man on the edge of the box, and all of a sudden you have a chance of maybe winning it off that midfielder and getting closer to him.
Yeah.
It's worrying what I saw today, because I was hoping anyway would be a bit further along than this. I understand it's a process. I understand it's pre-season. It doesn't really matter the result. It's not really the result that I'm not happy about, as much as it's never good to lose 4-0. It's more the manner of how we lost it. It was a really pitiful performance. We were kind of sold that in these kind of games, at least if we're going to lose, we'll go down, we'll give them a game, go down fighting, like I've seen with Brentford. And even Brentford don't get battered like we did today against these sort of teams. It was so poor. And I know on the face of it, the first goal was offside, so we got unlucky with that one.
Penalty wasn't a penalty.
Penalty wasn't a penalty. And all 3 goals after that were just, you just got to clap your hands sometimes because they were
yeah,
on
but in the
special
build-up in
strikes.
those moments as well, you got to be getting close to your man, and there wasn't enough closing down.
That's true, but still, the strikes were still special.
Yeah, 100%. I don't
But
disagree.
regardless of that, they could have had another 4 goals on top of the goals they scored. So it doesn't really matter that they scored special goals because Olise missed a sitter. They missed lots of sitters throughout the whole game. So the scoreline flattered us. It could have been a lot worse than 4. We weren't organised defensively. We weren't resilient. And we weren't doing anything going forward, and we weren't doing anything midfield. I don't think we did anything in any facet of the game well today.
Yeah.
I can't think of anything apart from maybe Van de Ven did quite well winning some headers in his own box. He was quite good in that. I think he was maybe one of our better players, Van de Ven. Apart from that, it was really Romero, as you say, he could have been sent off today. He was rash. He was at his worst, one of his worst performances. I felt Romero today. When he's in this kind of mood, he's a liability.
He's just getting frustrated.
And yeah, that forward line, it can't be anything. But even against Bayern's reserves, they couldn't do anything.
We have right now a mid-table forward line. That's what we have. And that is just reality right now. And we're not doing ourselves any favours by not dipping into the transfer market and trying to refresh. I know we've got Kudus, and yes, I'm very happy with him. But we need a lot more than just Mohamed Kudus. When you're missing out Son, when Maddison's out for the season, when Kulusevski's not going to be there for the first 3 months of the season or however long it's going to be, you're missing 67 goal contributions out of that side. Mohamed Kudus is not going to be the one that is going to get you, even 20 goal contributions. So we need massive investment from now until the end of the window, and I just don't think we're going to get it. I just don't.
And you even saw Kudus today, not to because I think he was probably one of our better players. Kudus. I'm not. This isn't me shitting on him, but he had a very inconsistent final ball today. Very inconsistent when he got the opportunities, and he had a few. And yes, it was probably his own good work that got those opportunities. But still, when he got in the position to either put a cross in, put a pass in, it was very hit and miss, his final ball. It wasn't like it was on the money. In fact, I can't remember too many times it was. So that is even more evidence of we can't really rely on him to be the one that's going to finish moves off or get the final bit of quality. He's going to be a facilitator, Martin, by and large. Yes, I think he's got the quality to be providing goals and assists. Don't get me wrong, he's got a good left foot, but I think his main role is to be more of a facilitator for the other guys in the front three. But at the moment he's facilitating a lack of quality, and that's a big problem. Yeah,
absolutely. And like I mentioned about those goal contributions, right? The players that we've that we've got in replacement right now is Sarr in the 10, Odebear or Tell or Johnson, whoever it be on the left wing, Solanke or Richarlison up top. Between all of them, how long does it go back to 67 goal contributions? Have they even got 67 goal contributions in them through their whole career? Like, you know what I mean? It's just madness altogether. So we need heavy investment. We're nowhere near ready for the season. We need a 10, if not 2. Like, we're not getting all this stuff going into the season. So this is another manager that is getting thrown under the bus and not given what he needs to go in to a brand new season. We'll all say, trust the process of this, trust the process that. And I'm happy with Frank. I'm very happy with Frank as our new manager. But if he doesn't have the tools to go and do his job, we're going to have another stinker of a season. Mm-hmm. That's the
worry.
That's the worry of it all. And you're talking about. I've been banging on about how impressed I am with the defensive shape and the structure of the defense. Right, against League One opposition, brilliant. You know, barely conceding a chance against Arsenal, who it's been seen now that they've had a very, very poor pre-season and they're barely creating chances against anyone. Against Newcastle, warning signs were there. Newcastle were able to create chances against us. Now Bayern, they were basically be able to open us up at will. So maybe we were lulled into a bit of a false sense of security about this defensive shape and the defenders that we've got there because, like I mentioned, League One opposition, yeah, great, but we're not playing League One opposition. We're going to be in the Premier League. We're going to be in the Champions League. So we need to get a lot better in every single aspect, not just the attacking, about the defensive work as well.
Agreed. And, the games come very quickly. We've got a Super Cup, which is our next game. And
in our next 2-3 games, we've got Man City and we've got PSG. And that is worrying.
Yeah, we're in for probably a rude awakening, I think, in those games, to be honest. Look, and, if you're Thomas Frank, you're going to argue, these things take time when it comes to how we were defending last season and changing that completely. That's not going to be a quick process, but it's just it'll just be frustrating with the fact that we won that Europa League. You want this to be a time to kick on. You don't want it to be another season of transition and fall behind yet again. But are we doomed to be that?
Yes, I think so. Spurs don't like to do business quickly. We like to leave it until the end of the window. How many games have we got? It's going to be a very slow start to the season. I think that's there for everyone to see. Frank notoriously does start new clubs slowly. Didn't win in his first 6 games with Brentford. Same at Bromby, and it's looking like it could very well be the same at Spurs as well.
Well, we haven't had any competitive games, so we don't know yet. But I agree. I'm judging on the evidence I saw today. And you've got to say, I know the other preseason games, it's not like it's been a disaster, but I haven't been overly impressed, to be honest. Like, I know we've beat 1 against Arsenal, and that was great. But even in that game, it wasn't like we played unbelievable. We just got them on set pieces and defended resolutely. It wasn't like we were playing unbelievable stuff.
We scored a wonder goal from the halfway line.
Yeah.
And that was it.
And
even that goal, if that's in the Premier League, that's getting ruled out for VAR because there was a foul on Skelly.
Yeah, and we created some chance from set pieces, and we did that, and that was it. It's not like we were fantastic. Yes, we defended quite well, but I haven't seen anything from pre-season just yet to suggest that being defensively solid is good. It's not going to be enough to get you competing back to where we want to be.
Yeah, but look who we were defensively solid against.
Everton can defend solidly. Doesn't matter. You know what I mean?
But we haven't been. That's what I'm saying. When it's come to actual real opposition that's had a go at us, we haven't been defensively solid. Even we conceded 2 against Wickham.
That's also true. But what I'm just saying is that defending solidly is not nowhere near enough.
Yeah, I agree.
Nowhere near.
100%.
And I know we've shown signs of that, but that isn't going to get you to be a top team. Teams down the bottom can defend solidly. David Moyes has made a career of having a team that can defend solidly. That doesn't matter.
Dyche, Sam Allardyce, all of them.
That doesn't matter. Yes, that's a good thing because yes, our defending was bad last season. But just because you can defend solidly, that doesn't mean okay, you're ready to compete now. No,
100%.
You need to be able to create chances on a consistent basis, on a regularity, and we've seen no evidence of that. No evidence, and that is a massive concern. Yeah. And considering there's no end in sight when it comes to getting that creativity back in the team at this current moment. Yes, tomorrow we could wake up and Xavi Simons is signed, but I'm just saying right now we have no end in sight about adding some creativity to this team. So you can't be anything but really worried about how we're going to go into the season and score goals regularly and create chances regularly and win games regularly enough to put us back in the conversations we want to be in.
Yeah. Wishful thinking talking about Xavi Simons on this stream, I tell you that. But look, we need signings, we need them quick, and we need them now because they need to come in and they need to get acclimatized as well, to the way we want to play and to Thomas Frank's methods and all this kind of stuff. We're running out of time so quickly, and I think even if we do get signings in, we're going to have a slow start to the season. That's the painful thing about it, but I just can't see us getting what we need going into the season. Because I don't think if we just bring in just a number 10 from now to the end, that's not enough. It's not enough. We need more players on the wing. We need probably a better striker as well than Richarlison. So, yeah, I mean, it is very frustrating going into the new season. Already, it's so soon, guys. It's so soon. Just over a week to go until the first Premier League game. 6 days until the Super Cup. And we're just nowhere near ready. You're looking at the business that we've done so far in this window. We got Kudus great. We got Palhinha great. Kota Takai, they're already talking about if Dragoshin makes a quick recovery, he's going to be shipped out on loan. So you're talking about Kudus and Palhinha, which are 2 signings of, the desired quality, but it's nowhere near enough. Look at Manchester United, who are pretty much level with us, just a bit above us last season in the Premier League. Look at the investment that they've made. Look at the quality of signing that they've made. Yeah. You know what I mean? They've already leapfrogged us with the quality that they've brought in. Look at everyone above us where we aspire to be in the top 4. They've made heavy investment, and they've gone even further ahead of where we're at right now. Of everyone in the so-called Big 6, we have been by far the most disappointing in the transfer window, and we're just falling further and further and further behind. And we can have the best manager in the world to come in, but it's not going to make a difference if he doesn't have the tools to go and compete. So that's just where we're at the moment. But hey ho, we're European champions. So
we're good for another 17 years.
Exactly. We can bang on about that for another 40 years. But look, that is it. Bayern 4, Tottenham 0. I want to know your thoughts in the comments section below. But now it is time to bring on you guys and have your say. First up is Mr. Brian Daigle in the Thomas Frank shirt. Didn't last long, Brian, did it? I can't
No,
hear
it didn't, boys.
Yeah, go on.
It didn't. How are you both?
Mate, I am stressed as ever, bro. That was one of the biggest onslaughts I've seen in a while.
Yep, and I'm absolutely delighted it happened.
Are you now?
I'm absolutely delighted because then it shows
You look
how
delighted.
much, mate. I am. It just shows how much work we need. Levi, Lange, and Vinay, do your goddamn job so Frank can do his.
Yeah, absolutely.
We are so short of players. We'll get on to Frank. You look at, mate, we've got no creativity whatsoever. You look at I looked at that lineup. You look at Bayern Munich's front four.
Yeah.
Kingsley Coman, that they've had for a very, very long time. Luis Diaz from Liverpool. They have Musiala out. They lose a creative player. Bang. That's how we'll fix it. Elise from Crystal Palace and Harry Kane from us. All elite players that would walk into our first team. We just can't compete. And we're going into the Champions League and playing teams like this. And that's only their second pre-season game.
Yeah.
This is the quality we're going to be playing every single week in the Champions League. And we are absolutely miles behind and left short again. So like I said, the performance wasn't good enough and we'll come into it. But Levy, Lange and Vinay, do your goddamn job and bring in the quality that we need, because there's just nothing up top, is there? Nothing.
So, Brian, for you, was today a reality check about the real state of the squad and the team going into the new season? Because, you know, we won the North London derby. Everyone was delighted with that. Everyone's bang on the Frank train where we're heading. Everything's fantastic. And, you know, since then, no new signings. We've got Paulinho through the door, but the signings haven't really come as we expected. And now if we face this Bayern team and just completely looked out of our depth.
We did, buddy. We did. As I've said, when we played, pre-season is pre-season. It's about getting the minutes, getting fitness, getting the manager's points across, and being able to understand what's going on. And like we've said before, we've had blinding pre-seasons, and then we've done absolutely shocking in the league. Mm-hmm. Arsenal have had a shocking pre-season. Do we think their top four places up for grabs now? Other teams have had really poor pre-seasons. They'll go on to do things. I'm not concerned one little bit. I'm concerned about the lack of depth that we have as a squad. Yes, we've got injuries. They'll come back, but there's some big key injuries. I mean, Dominic Solanke's had a knock and we might be fit for the next game. He's vanished off the face of the earth.
Yeah.
Like, literally vanished. I think it's going to be another one of those, yep, he's got a slight knock. Oh, it was worse than first feared. We'll see him XYZ. There's just, they've got the minutes. We've got schooled today. We've got absolutely schooled, and it's not good.
Yeah, and even when their kids came on, they were probably at school yesterday, and we got schooled by them.
We did, mate. There's nothing. I mean, the only two positives I can take from it, is Kudus tried to do stuff, run into a lot of dead ends, but you can see he was actually trying to get things going. He was the only creative outlet. And Pedro Porro's crossing ability is just sensational.
Yeah.
Like, right
he seems like the only one. He seems like the only one that can put in a ball.
Which is what we said with Solanke when he came in. The guy needs service, and the only one at Tottenham that can cross the football is Pedro Porro, and he's proving it.
Yeah.
And Brian, you know, we've talking about the lack of creativity today. Obviously, no Maddison, no Decky. How do we go about solving this? I mean, without a new signing, because it seems as though there's absolutely no one in this team right now who can create a chance, it seems, apart from, as you were saying, Porro. But it's been a problem all pre-season, Brian, hasn't it? Let's be honest.
It's been a problem for more than one pre-season. But yeah, it is a problem, and it's a glaring issue that we need to fix. Unfortunately, there isn't anyone. I mean, we started this game with two sub-goalkeepers and no striker. Not one recognised striker on the bench. Don't know where Solanke is. Lancashire is out on loan. Scarlett obviously wasn't selected and is available for loan. We don't know when Solanke's back. It's been a problem for a long time. This has been a problem that we just don't get fixed, and we're in a time where we're running out of time to fix it. I mean, we know that Kulusevski's a long way off, could be creative. Maddison, forget. Then you're talking about putting Kudus in the centre, which, like Manny said when he came on here, he does for Ghana. But then the right wing problem that we thought we solved then becomes the issue. It's not good. It's not good. And Frank today, obviously he's put a team out as strong as he could, but there's issues there, isn't there? And he will. Don't worry, I've got complete faith in him. This is just pre-season. He'll get it going. There's no drama there. But this is not looking good. As in the team balance, depth, everything.
But you're only as good as the players you've got at your disposal.
Correct.
And if he doesn't have the attacking options, how can we expect him to get it going?
Precisely that, Ben. Precisely that. You're only as good as the tools you've got to use. And at the moment, like you said, Simeon, before I came on, you were talking about set pieces, which has been a vast improvement for us. A vast improvement to what it was. But we can't just rely on that. He's fixed that. There are times defensively we've looked strong, in shape, but we need more. And the thing is, we can talk about the defending, but the whole story of this pre-season has been lack of creativity.
Yeah.
Lack of finishing ability, lack of goals. And that is because we are very, very weak in that department, whether it be injuries, Sonny leaving, no replacement. I mean, we've gone from Kane and Son, the greatest strike force the Premiership has seen, the greatest strike force we've had in modern history, and then all you see on social media at the moment is an argument about which one was the bigger legend, and that's causing a whole goddamn ruckus, and Kane's getting a load of grief, when the whole thing should be, wait, hang on a minute, how has this been allowed that these players have left the football club and there's no reinforcement or no quality to step in?
Yeah, and that's what we heard today, Brian. We heard that there's not going to be a replacement for Son Heung-min leaving the club. You know, consistent over 20 goal contributions pretty much every season for God knows how many years. How is that allowed to happen? How is it allowed for Son Heung-min to leave the club and be left with two 20-year-olds to take us into next season and try and get, and try and make up the goal contributions that we're losing with Sonny leaving? And look, don't get me wrong. I like Odebear and I like Tell, but you need someone of significance in there as well, not just prospects.
Yep, not just that. We're going into the Champions League with two 20-year-olds.
Yeah.
And the reason it's happening is boing, boing, boing. Sorry, that was me jumping on the springboard for success. That's sorry. I got over carried away and started jumping there. Listen, same shit, different year.
Yeah. The only difference is that in previous years we've had Son to fall back on, we've had Kane to fall back on. We don't have them to fall back on this season. But let's talk about the defence for a second, because me and you have spoken a lot this pre-season about how impressed we've been with the defensive shape, the defensive structure. And, it's all well and good against League One opposition. It's all well and good against an Arsenal team that aren't kind of firing, looking poor so far in pre-season, haven't been able to create chances against anyone. But you saw the warning signs there against Newcastle. Today, it just looked all over the place. Is that something you're worried about at this moment in time?
Well, something I was worried about today is you saw, and Stel came on and spoke about it, didn't he, when he said, let's give Romero some credit for not reacting to Bruno Guimaraes putting his hands around his neck. Well, today he had a beeline for Kane, didn't he?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he did.
He had an absolute beeline, and he could have easily been sent off in this one.
Should have.
So whereas we admire the composure against Newcastle, today he was very, very rash. Spence at times tries to do too much on the ball.
Yeah.
If defending, no issues, but he tried to dilly and dally and try to do too much and take his man on. Van der Ven did what he could, but that's the thing. When you come up against this type of quality, you're going to get asked questions on how to deal with it. And it just showed we're meant to be playing as a team and everyone for each other. And today they got a humbling, didn't they?
Yeah,
Thomas
they
Frank
really
has
did.
got to look at it. Kevin Danso's there for a bit of strength and everything. Maybe he wanted to give that team as much time as he could to get used to each other for PSG. And if we go like that against PSG, dearie me.
Could be double figures.
But Brian, even when they brought on their youngsters, they were still able to open us up at will. So like when you say, oh, it's about the quality, like are their youngsters really that good that we shouldn't be able to keep them out? Like they brought in their youngsters, and I think Romero and Van der Ven stayed on, and we were still getting carved open.
Yeah, we were. Sim, there's no answer to that. There's no reason that should be acceptable. They're in their second pre-season. All right, they've had the Club World Cup, so they've been playing recently, but they would have had a break. But they just looked hungry, fresh, ready. And here we are. This is just their second pre-season warm-up, and they're playing Tottenham.
Yeah.
Our second pre-season warm-up was planned to be Luton, but Frank crammed in a game. So we've played Reading, Wickham and Luton. I don't know who Bayern's first friendly was, but their second one's Tottenham Hotspur. They're playing real quality, so they can judge. But like we said, this has been, honestly, I've said that I would rather have a pre-season like this where the manager could see what the issues are, try and fix those errors and find the answer to the questions, rather than have an absolutely blissful pre-season where it's all bells and whistles and then it unravels once the window closes. And hopefully right now, the people up top and Lange are now saying, right, we need to move, and we need to move goddamn quick, because we've got 6 days PSG, 9 days to start the Premier League, and we cannot go in with this lack of creativity. We just simply can't.
We got our first glimpse today of João Paulinho, 45 minutes. What were your thoughts?
Well, I think the penalty was a farce.
Yeah. That referee was shocking today.
Do you know what? I think today he was only getting 45 minutes to his fitness. That's it. You know, he's flown to Germany to fly back to Germany, probably had one training session with the team, had an injury and been asked to play. Absolutely didn't get to do much. I expect big things from him. I think he'll be a valuable member of the team and squad going forward. No concerns whatsoever. And he'll probably get a full 90 against PSG, and he's going to be a busy boy.
Yeah, he most definitely will be. But Brian, always a pleasure, my friend. Unfortunately, the shirt loses at the first hurdle.
Well, at least I haven't got to keep finding places to hide it from Alana now. I can just say, right, it's dusted, it's all good. Listen, everyone in the chat, have a nice evening. Anyone from North America, I'm going to be going live at 9 p.m. Toronto time, doing a late night Tottenham on Tour show. So if you want some late night entertainment, rants and enjoyment, feel free to join us. But I'll let you get on with the rest of the show. Guys, have a wonderful evening. Everyone in the chat, have a wonderful evening. And the boys in the back, have a wonderful evening. Levy out.
Big up, Daigle. Ah, God. Let's move on. Let's keep going. We have got Mr. George Orton up next. How we doing, George?
Before I say anything, my internet's playing up, so I might have to move over to my phone. But other than that, pissed off, in a word, in a phrase.
Yeah, talk to me about the game today, because it was just like chasing shadows for pretty much 90 minutes. And not just when it was their first team on, even when the kids came on for Bayern, just didn't seem to get any better. We had a few flashes with Odebear, but apart from that, it was just shocking throughout, and we're just nowhere near ready, are we?
Playing off the park by their kid is a piss take, in my opinion.
I think you're frozen, George. I think you froze there for a second.
Ooh. Yeah. Let me move on to my phone. Bring someone else on. I'll come back on in a
Okay. All right, George. We'll bring him on very, very shortly. Next up is Stephen Dreyer. Stephen, how are we doing today?
How are you guys?
I think...
you right?
Yeah, not bad, mate. How are you?
Yeah, very good, guys, very good. So that was awful, wasn't it?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I think we spoke after the
Can you
Arsenal
hear me
game.
all right?
Yeah, I think there might be a little bit of a delay.
Yeah.
Can you hear us?
I can hear you, yeah, sorry.
There's a massive
Bit delayed,
delay.
I think.
Maybe you
What's
need to
going
reconnect, disconnect and reconnect or something.
Yeah, I'll reconnect. All right, I'll come
Okay.
back.
Well, that's 2 down. Next one is Mark. Let's hope his internet holds up. How you doing, Mark?
I'm doing all right. My God, that was such a terrible game. We couldn't even hold a candle to these guys. How are we expecting to go against PSG next week?
I know it's
Like,
mad.
I don't even know how we're gonna get our ducks in a row to even like be competitive next week. Like we have a trophy on the line, like a genuine like good trophy that we could cherish forever. That is very hard to even get to begin with.
Yeah.
And it's given to us on a silver platter, and we have wasted a transfer window.
Were you hopeful before this game that maybe we'll do something, or did you think, oh, before the game started, it was going to turn out like it did?
I was hopeful that we would at least be somewhat competitive, but we weren't even close to competitive. It was just men against boys, just an absolute mess. Like, let's see, only Kudus, Van der Ven, and then flashes of Richie that I could really say like that did a good job, and then everybody else it was just a mess. Like I don't understand. They weren't even communicating. Like this is like bringing me like terrible flashbacks of how terrible my my team was in high school. You know, like this is like this is basic. This is basic stuff that we should be already be doing, and we're not even doing that as a team. Like,
Mark,
come on.
Mark, what's happened though? Because a week ago, we were talking after the Arsenal game. We were, all sunflowers and roses, sailing off into the sunset, winning the North London derby. We were like, defensive shape, unbelievable. What the hell has changed?
I think I think it's showing how unready we are for Europe.
Yeah.
I think also that we've done such a good job. Like, I think Frank has done such a good job in the Premier League. Like, he knows how to play against these teams. He already has the experience. He's already studied them kind of, individually, but I don't think he's properly been, he's never been in playing in Europe at all.
Mm-hmm.
So that tells me everything that, man, it's just going to be a rough ride. And I don't know. It's just, I don't know, like what can really happen, because he has no experience in Europe. And, I don't want to say anything, and I don't want to say like I'm doubting or anything, but it's just like, it puts into question, like, if we really wanted to go out in multiple fronts and actually compete, why did we choose a manager that hasn't had any experience in Europe? Like, it just raises question marks for me. Like we yeah, sure, Ange had his issues, but at least he kind of like had some experience. But this was just a mess. Today was a mess. Kudus was left out to dry like so many times, and I'm just yelling at the screen like, what are you guys gonna do? Just help him, like.
Yeah.
And then I see Frank on the screen, and he's just like lost out there, like wondering what the heck is going on. What is going on?
Yeah, and
I don't know what to say.
And Mark, it's been a theme throughout pre-season, hasn't it? Our lack of ability to create good chances, and happened again today. Today we had to do a lot of defending. Granted, we're playing a good Bayern side, albeit again defending we weren't doing to a great level. But throughout pre-season, even against League One opposition, we've struggled to create chances. And is that how big of a concern is that going into the season? Of, you know, if we can't create the chances, and how are we going to be able to go some way to replacing the goals that the likes of Son were getting for this team?
Yeah, it's huge. It's huge. If we can't create nothing, it means nothing. We can't do anything. We can't even get into the final third, you know, properly. Come on, like seriously, we need creativity. That's the thing I would say from anything that we're looking for right now, and we need to look for creative players, and we need them now.
Yeah.
You know,
do you trust the club
for us
to
to
get
even
them in?
be I don't know. I don't think so, because at this point right now we've been, you know, with the whole Morgan Gibbs wipe saga, and now that door was closed, that was like the best thing that we could have gotten right now. The only other places that we can go are just going to be, you know, kind of more or less grabbing at straws. You know,
There is an Eberechi
like,
sitting there, still hasn't left Crystal Palace.
I don't know. It's just like, because his heart is in Arsenal right now. That's what it seems, you know. But are we gonna stump up the money? Is he gonna want to come over? You know, now that Arsenal's been courting him really hard, that's gonna be hard. That's gonna be a hard thing to get out of. Yeah, like I really want him. I really want him. But every day that comes by that there's no updates. There's nothing that's really concrete. It kind of gets me to doubt. You know, it makes me doubt that we're gonna get Eze. You know, Rodrigo. Like, I think he would have been a great player. You know, I think
Don't
he would
even
be
go
a
there,
great
Mark.
player.
Don't even go there.
But we like, how are we gonna stuff up the money? You know, like, and now it was on the phone. You know, before coming on here. You know, and I was talking to my sister, and she's a Man City fan, and I was like, "What do you think about Jack Grealish?" And she's like, "Oh yeah, he's good, but he's not like great." And I'm like, "What do you mean?" "Oh, he's not like consistent." I'm like, we need consistency. Like what are we gonna do? You know, like our options are closing with every pass an hour.
And we saw one of our new signings today for the first time in João Palhinha. Did you like what you saw? What did you think of his 45 minutes?
I think it's okay. It's just I can't really say anything because it's only been 45 minutes. What has been this one? Like he's only done like one practice session, and then just to show up. You know, that it's not fair for him. But I think he's gonna be in for a big welcoming next week, and to show, oh, welcome to Tottenham. This is the problems you have to deal with now. So, yeah, because against PSG, it's gonna be a nightmare if we can't get our ducks in a row, at least tactically, at least for now. We're gonna have a hard watch next week.
Yeah, never mind next week, all season.
Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely.
Mark, always a pleasure to speak to you, my friend. We'll see you next time.
Alrighty. See you guys.
See you. Come on, you Spurs.
Come
on. Let's go. Let's see how George's internet is holding up now. George?
Hopefully second time lucky.
Yes.
Fingers crossed.
Looking good this time. Looking good this time. Talk to me about your frustrations, your thoughts of the game today.
So I caught the end of what Mark was saying there, and obviously saw what Brian said, and I think they summed up what a lot of the fans are feeling. In response to a lot of obviously live chat, you can't really judge that. It's the vocal minority, but they're all it's 50-50. It's just Bayern. We need to chill out or frank out. Like, there's no in between. I think there's two sides to the coin. Ultimately, yeah, it was a friendly. Yes, it was against Bayern, but when their kids are making our internationals, and correct me if I'm wrong, but every single one of our players at one point was an international.
Yeah, when they had the kids on, I think everyone apart from Odebear and Tell, who are under 21 internationals.
Yeah, exactly. So it just goes to show there's levels, and if we want to be doing what Levy has said and fighting, well, he phrased it, we want to win the league, we need to win the Champions League, or the other way around. But whichever way around it is, he needs to pull his finger out and put his money where his mouth is.
Yeah.
These are the clubs that we've got to be competing against, and how we've only got 3 players on over £100,000 a week salary is in itself criminal. But when you combine everything that that man has done, or not done, as the case may be, he's got to go. I've said it countless times, and I know Brian's a big Levy out, but I rival him for that now. I have done it for a couple of years. But fuck me, pardon the language, boys. Jesus Christ, that was poor
and
today.
we've just let go of Son, who's obviously was our highest earner at 200 grand a week, and so we've got a massive hole in our wage bill that needs filling. And I completely agree. It's ridiculous.
We had a hole in the wage bill before Son left.
Yeah. But in terms of pre-season, George, you know, it's today continued a theme for us when it comes to our ability to create chances or lack of. And again, it happened today. I think we had 4 shots throughout the whole game. Granted, all playing Bayern Munich. How much of a concern is that for you?
Massive last season. Obviously, it was struggles at the back. We had the players, just not the tactical nous. I'd guess a lot of people would say. Obviously, me and you, some very big Ange fans at the time, but we had the players, just not the play style to play defensive. It's completely the other way around now. We've not even got the players for attacking. Like, we need Liao in, we need Simmons in, or Simons, however you say his name. We need Eze in. I don't see us getting any one of those in.
Yeah.
Realistically, we need all 3.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
George, when you compare it to who the teams we aspire to be challenging with this season, the likes of the Liverpools, I know when that was never going to happen, but you look at all the business that the so-called top 6 have done this season, and you look at the business that we've done. I mean, we are just lagging further and further behind, and it's just the gap is opening, getting wider and wider and wider. And there just seems to be no kind of end in sight in terms of widening the gap.
Yeah, and I think not even for the big 6, for me, is the frustration. I mean, we can look at the Nomads down the road and have a laugh about it last week after beating them. But when we're acting like the team that lost the Europa League final and Manchester United in their season where they would have run out of money in 2025, November 2025, when they're bringing in the players they're bringing in, giving them the wages they're doing so, and we're one of the most profitable sporting clubs in the world, let alone just football.
Don't you mean property portfolios?
Honestly, when that came out, obviously, I don't know if you've seen that come out this morning as well. The plans for that have just come out.
Yeah, I've seen.
Oh, my blood was boiling. Oh my god. But yeah, let's pivot it back onto the game. I want to just mention Paulinho, because I'm not going to make too many bones about his performance today, because he's been at the club less than a week. As Mark said, he's only had 1 training session. We do have to cut him a little bit of slack.
Yeah.
But when we've got players like Kuti doing what he did today, it's just not acceptable. He's supposed to be captain material, and you can't have head loss like that in a friendly and expect to be a captain. It's inexcusable. Like, he should have been sent off twice.
Yeah.
I'm a qualified referee. I would have sent him off twice. One as a straight red, one as a double yellow.
Yeah, I mean, the level of officiating was absolutely horrific today, wasn't it?
It was. He was wearing. I saw a comment during the game saying he was wearing an adult diaper of Bayern Munich, and that's how it felt.
But George, you know, we've been quite, you know, throughout pre-season fairly defensively solid, and yes, when for the first hour we're getting ripped apart, you can kind of put it down to, okay, we're just facing unbelievable quality, and look at the players, Elise and these players, right? But then they bring on their youngsters, and I think the back 4 we ended the game with was still Vicario, Romero, Van der Ven, Davis, and Porro. So it's not like it was a second choice back line really for us, and we're still getting carved open, regularly, and we conceded another, 2 goals, and we're still creating chances. So, what do you put it down to? How we were so open compared to how we've been a lot of preseason. Can you just put it down to quality when it's Bayern reserves doing it?
It's a difficult one because obviously I'm not an ITK. I don't see the internals of how the club is and how the youth of Bayern Munich stacks up against our starting 11, or let alone our youth. But I said Jimbo from the pump ups, he's always really positive and always says, "Oh, we're going to win 4-0, 5-0." I'm usually like that, and I went into this game expecting to lose 2-1. Now, yeah, one of their goals was offside. I think the penalty was a bit of a dive, but it would still be being given in a Premier League game, and it wouldn't have been overturned by VAR, in my opinion. So I think 2-0 was a fair point, and that's what I sort of suggested that we were going to lose by was 2-1. And then for the kids to come on and get another two, albeit they were worldies, you can't take that away from them, absolute worldies, but it just shows the golfing class. It really does. And I had to laugh at the end of the game. Don't know if you saw it right at the end. I think you were doing your outro at the time. But Spurs play tried to pin the blame on the players being jet lagged. Sim, you went out to South Korea. Were you jet lagged?
Absolutely fine, mate. Feel great.
There you go.
Apart from watching this
I know
game,
you're not a professional footballer, but still.
But jet lag. But Bayern have just been on holiday after playing at the Club World Cup. So who should be more tired? Let's be honest.
Exactly.
I'm sick and tired of hearing these excuses, man. Get players that can actually do a job. If you're going to lose 67 goal contributions out of your side with Maddison, Kulusevski, and Son, go and bloody replace them with genuine quality. Otherwise, you're never going to do anything. Like, how the hell is it okay for us to sell Son and to say, all right, we're going to go into the season with Tellen Odebear on the left wing? Where's the genuine quality coming in?
It's not even that, Ben. We still haven't replaced Harry Kane.
Yeah.
I'm trying so hard to suppress the swearing, but it's bubbling up.
Swear at me, mate. Don't you worry about that. You're allowed to swear.
Yes. Fucking abysmal is the phrase that I was going to go for there. Absolutely fucking abysmal. Like, we've lost 67 goal contributions, you said. That's why I was saying we need to bring in all three of those players I mentioned, Leao, Simons, whatever, and Eze.
Yeah.
And even then, I still don't think that's enough. I still think that we need a Richie replacement. Dom has just been glass since he's been at the club. I don't even know where to go from here. A fan takeover or a Saudi takeover is the only thing that I can think of to improve the situation we're in.
Yeah, well, Daniel Levy says he wants the Premier League, we need the Premier League, we need the Champions League. Well, he better start acting like it, otherwise we're just going to keep falling further and further behind. Yeah.
It's disgraceful. He's a great business. Well, we've all said he's a great businessman, and then it comes out before this investment that we're getting that the club is cash poor and we need to sell to buy. Well, he can't be that good of a businessman if that's the case.
Yeah.
So if he's not a good businessman and he's not a good club owner, fuck is he good at? Fuming.
George, always a pleasure, my
We're
friend.
a joke.
Yeah.
Thanks for having us on again. Sorry for the technical glitches there, but as always, come on, you Spurs.
Come on, you Spurs. Big up to
you
George.
talk about selling Son. Is that something we're overlooking about today's result? Son as a captain leaving the club. This is the first game we have without Son as a leader, and with the way we capitulated, is that maybe going to take some adjusting to potentially?
Look, it's not like we never capitulated with Son in the team. That did happen. We lost 7-2 to Bayern with Son in the team.
I'm talking about him as captain.
Yeah,
I guess we lost a lot of games last season.
We lost 22 games last season with Son as captain. So I'm not going to put it down just to Son leaving.
Not put it down, but does it contribute?
I don't know, man. I don't know. It contributes in the case that we have a lack of quality up top and we've got no driving force there, and Brennan Johnson's doing little next to nothing, where Son might have contributed a bit more. But yeah, I think it contributes in that aspect, but I don't know if that the leadership aspect.
Maybe a bit. That,
Maybe.
you know, that lack of him being there, and all of a sudden, you know, you look how it. I'm not saying it's all downtime. I'm just saying it's an adjustment period, isn't it?
Yeah, potentially. And by the way, Fabrizio Romano has just done an update and said that Chelsea want 80 million for Spurs target Nicholas Jackson.
If we pay 80 million while not paying for Eze, I swear.
80 million for Nicholas Jackson. What world are we living in?
Yeah, this is the world we're in.
Unbelievable. Let's go to our next caller, Jack. How you doing, Jack, mate?
Yeah, I'm good, mate. How are you, son? Back from Hong Kong?
Thank you, mate. Yeah, I'm doing well. Tired,
Yeah.
but look, it wasn't the game I wanted to see. But
So you are jet lagged.
not jet lag. I'm tired watching this team and following Tottenham. That's what I'm tired about. Yeah, I'm doing well. Thank you. Thank you for saying hi to me and inviting me back. But how did you enjoy today's game?
Oh, God, mate. Not Madison being out for 8 months with his ACL. I don't know what it is with us and injuries, but we literally, like, we haven't even played one game of professional football yet, and we're gonna have a growing injury list.
It's madness, isn't it?
It's like, because when we approached Gibbs White, I was thinking, I saw that we triggered his release clause, and I was like, oh yeah, like I was so excited. And then now it actually been so good to have him because we got no Dickey, we got no Madison. Like, what do we do? Like, this board has got a lot of work to do before the season starts. We got the Super Cup in 6 days. We got the season starts in just over a week. Like, we can't. We've got no options. Like, we've got heaps of options at the back, but no options like in the creative bit. Like, I've seen Pepe's been playing there a bit, Gray's been playing there a bit. Well, Gray looks like he's playing there against Newcastle, and then obviously Bergvall as well can do a job there. But we need a number 10. Like, Gibbs White. Obviously we can't get him anymore because he signed a contract. But like, I don't know what it is with us with injuries. Like, no other club has had as many injuries as us. Like, you look at Liverpool last season, they managed to play Champions League football, Premier League football, got to the Carabao Cup final, and obviously played one game of FA Cup football. But like, they didn't. They got pretty much next to no injuries. We haven't played one game of competitive football yet, and we've got how many injuries? So many. Like, Udogi's out, Solanke's out, Madison's out. Obviously, Decky was last season. Dragoshin was obviously last season as well. But like, we've got a growing injury list. It's like, what?
It's relentless, isn't it? The injuries for Spurs, but yeah, in terms of what you were saying, like the whole preseason, we've struggled really, haven't we, to create good quality or good amount of chances per game. Even the games that we've been happy about, like Arsenal, and those games, it wasn't really about the amount of chances we created. It's more us looking just a bit solid and getting over the line. But it's worrying, isn't it, that these lack of chances being created in this team, and you look at it, and where are they going to come from? Do you think?
Yeah, I don't know. Like, it was kind of like, obviously under Ange, right? We were a lot worse defensively and better attacking wise. Now it kind of seems like the opposite, under Frank. We're a bit better defensively, but not as good attacking wise. Like, I don't know, man. Like, I mean, obviously today was just a preseason game, but we need to start the season strong. And I don't see how we can compete on all 4 fronts. Like, we have Mohamed Kudus, sure, but he's not the player that's going to, like, get us out of danger, you know? He's not the player that's going to, like, win us the league, you know? And that's what we want to do. The players like Polina, players like Madison, players like Gibbs White, those are the players that you go places with. And unfortunately, we cannot go anywhere with the squad that we have at the moment. It's nowhere near good enough.
How many players do you think we need from now until the end of the transfer window?
Oh, my God, the list would go on for ages. But if I had to guess, I'd love to get Eze. I'd love to get... we've got a number 6 who I wanted the most, but now Madison, obviously we need number 10, so definitely in like a Eze or someone. We need a better striker on the bench because Richarlison is just injured too much, and he's not someone that's going to be he's just injured too much. We need a good striker on the bench. Solanke hasn't had a good start to the season at Spurs, but I hope that we get some players and we can actually do well in the Champions League, do well in the Premier League, hopefully win the FA Cup or something, or at least attempt to. Obviously, Son leaving, I was absolutely heartbroken. It's one of those things, like, you wait you know it's going to happen, and then when it does happen, it hits so hard. Like, it's just, and then Sonny's leaving, and I was like so excited for Madison this year because he's 28, 29 years of age. He should be at the prime of his career, and unfortunately, I saw the news this morning on your guys' channel that he had unfortunately torn his ACL and it's going to be probably not seen until March or April. So it's just, and obviously with Son leaving as well, it's like, can Madison kind of step up in the leadership group with like Vicario and Romero and stuff? But he's out for most of the season. Like, it's just, it sucks, man. As Tottenham, being a Tottenham fan's rough.
And we're also already hearing, like, in terms of going into the season, Son's left, right. It's devastating for everyone, but he is not going to be replaced. His replacement is Matisse Tell and Will Snowdebaut on the left-hand side. You're talking about only one recognised left back in the squad with Destiny Udogie. He's injured. Frank's come out and said he's putting his faith in Ben Davis. I mean, how do we expect to go anywhere if these are decisions we're making?
Oh, God, mate. We have gone from Son and Kane, the best strike duo in Premier League history, in my opinion, to Solanke and, like, Richarlison or, like, Tell. And, like, it's like Son and Kane, like, Son leaving hurt way more than Harry Kane, in my opinion. But, like, we're sitting here and we had Son and Kane, like, the best strike duo in Premier League history, and we've gone to just such low quality. Like, if we want to, like Daniel Levy says, like, we want to win the Premier League, but he needs to, like, spend money, you know, like, we've signed players, but I don't know. It's just he's not doing. The board have a lot of work to do before the season starts, and we're just sitting here on, like, what is it, like a week, just over a week before the season starts, and
6 days till the Super Cup.
6 days till the Super Cup against probably the best team in Europe, against PSG. So God knows how that's going to go. I won't be surprised if we come away with a win because we are Tottenham Hotspur. We are unpredictable. But still, like, we just, oh God, I don't know, man. Honestly, I just have to see what happens with the squad. But the squad's nowhere near good enough. If we want to be playing in the Champions League, we need a better squad. I mean, players like, you know, I don't think I wasn't a big fan of Tell last season. I thought he had a great attitude, but he just didn't have the quality. But yeah, the team's just nowhere near good enough, and we need to improve that. And another sign here where the manager's not being backed by the board because, like you saw, like Ange wasn't backed enough. You know, like, they need to make signings to help these managers to win things. Like, Frank clearly doesn't like the squad we have right now. And, like, we need to help him, you know, like, manager. It's like giving Gordon Ramsay bread and butter. What's he going to make you? Butter on bread. But maybe you give him some eggs, some chicken or something, you know, like, they need the tools to do it. And we're just not giving it to them. And I mean, I'm really excited for Frank. I think he's a brilliant manager and he did well at Brentford, but we'll just have to see how we do. But yeah, being a Tottenham fan's rough.
It really is, my friend. But onwards and upwards, let's hope so. Anyway, Jack, always a pleasure to speak to you, my friend. Thanks for coming on.
That's sweet. Thanks for having us, guys.
Cheers, mate.
And I was thinking about it just while Jack was talking there, like our transfer window. When you actually deep our transfer window, like, we've signed, obviously, that young centre-back Kota Takai, but the two players we've got in who we're happy about are actually players who've had bad seasons, right, last season, which is the only reason why they're gettable for us.
Yeah.
Whereas all the other teams have signed players who have just off the back of brilliant seasons.
Yep.
Off the back of a high, coming in full confidence. Yep. Like, well, we need to sign players as well who are playing well at the moment,
who are on form. Yeah, absolutely. Look at Man United. They've just bought, you know, two of the top goal scorers from last season, Cunha and Weber. Like, all these teams in the mid-table section are getting stripped of their talent. We've not taken one. We've taken West Ham's, you know, Kudus, who, like you say, hasn't had a great season last year.
That's when you realise that's the reason we've spent money on these players and they're gettable, because we've probably thought they had a bad season, so we can get a good deal for these players.
And also, like, when we're talking about Kane and Son, you know, how Son's exit was so much harder to take than Harry Kane. A big part of that was Kane's exit was easier to take because we had Son in the team. We still had Son. We still had a world-class player in the team. Now Son's left. We've got no world-class players in the attacking line at all. But anyway, let's move on. Let's see if Stephen's internet is any better. Stephen, how you doing, my friend?
Good. How are you? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you much better now.
Good. The Tottenham people affecting the internet stream now.
I know. Tell me about it, mate. Tell me about it. Yeah, just tell me your thoughts on the game today, my friend.
Not good. Definitely not good. Just proves that we need more signings, doesn't it? Because, like you say, there's been no creativity during pre-season, and even today, that just showed that we need to get more players into this squad. Otherwise, we're just not going to do anything this season. And I feel sorry for Thomas Frank because he's come in and looks like he's going to be set up to fail again. Do you not think?
Is he sacked, do you say?
No, be set up to fail again.
Oh, right.
Yeah, I mean, it's this age-old story. Every single manager suffers from the same thing, you know. Ange wasn't given the tools completely. No one's given the tools. No manager is given the tools. Conte, Mourinho, Nuno, Poch, to a certain degree as well towards the end. And it looks as though Frank's going the same way.
Yeah. Why don't we go and get Grealish? Just go out and get him. I don't see why we're stalling on that. It's like just ask. We inquired about his loan thing the other day, but why don't we just go out and get him? And the 60 million for Gibbs White, where's that gone?
Great question, Stephen. It's one we're all wondering.
And we've got another 20 million for Sonny. So why don't we just go to Crystal Palace and go, here's 80 million for Eze?
20 million for Son and 200 grand a week off the wages.
Yeah. So why don't we just go for Eze?
Just
Why
put the
not?
money on the table. Agreed.
Yeah. Although, because we, like you say, we're stalling, and Man United, who we beat in the Europa League last year, we were supposed to have the better window, but they've had the better window. Like you say, they brought in Bremo and Cunha, and what we got, Kudus, which is okay.
Can you imagine the hype if we'd even got one of those players?
Yeah. But I don't see why we just don't go and do it, because, like you say, we've lost Maddison now. We've lost Sonny, no Cooley for however long. So, like you say, 67 goals we've got goal contributions we've got to find for next season.
Yeah,
So,
and where are they coming from? Please tell me where they're coming from.
I don't know. They're definitely not coming from Richarlison. As much as I like Richie, I think he he's got a good attitude, but his finishing's just terrible. Solanke's injury worse than we thought because we've not seen or heard anything about him.
And he pretty much hasn't had a pre-season now, so he's going to need to have a pre-season as well.
Did he played the first 45, was it?
Yeah, he's played in one game, I think, and we haven't seen him since.
Yeah.
So he's not going to be up to full fit now. And if he's back next week, you're asking him to play 90 minutes against PSG.
Yeah.
So that's a problem. So yeah, I don't know, and I really, really don't know. I think we've stalled for too long. I mean, when did Benketesh and Levy come out and say, "Oh, we want to win the Champions League, we want to win the Premier League, we want to compete in all four fronts"? Was it beginning of July, wasn't it?
Around about then, yeah.
Yeah. So, and what we've done since then?
And it looked like they actually meant it for 24 hours when we signed Kudus and we got the here we go for Gibbs White. And then since then, it's just been reverting back to type.
Yeah, because the Palhinha thing took longer than I thought it was going to do. That took a few days, longer than I thought it would. So I don't know. I think we could be in trouble, and I feel sorry for Frank because like you say, he's just come in, and it's the same old story.
How many players do you think we need, and how many players do you think we'll get from now to the end of the window?
Well, we need to replace Maddison, so I think we need 2 number 10s for definite. Or
Probably, yeah.
if we get 1 number 10 and then maybe Bergvall can play there, Gray can play there, that'd be fine. We definitely need a left winger. We definitely need another left back. Because as much as I like Ben Davies, I don't think he can play too many games in a row. And a striker. So what's that for?
Yeah, so 4 or 5 players if you're counting 2 number 10s. So how many do you think we'll actually get from that?
None at this rate. I don't think we will. I think they'll stall until last day of the window and then go, we tried, but didn't get it over the line. And don't forget the window shuts at 7 this year. not 11 o'clock. So you've got, what, 4 hours less than we normally would?
Yeah, I mean, look, they've had the all summer to get it done. So I wouldn't mind what time the actual window's shutting. But in my opinion, I think we'll get one. I think we get one number 10, and that's pretty much it from now to the end of the window.
Yeah, then we're going to be short, aren't we? So I don't know. It's just the same old story, isn't it, guys? I mean, what's your feelings on the season coming up?
I mean, I'm worried, man. I'm really worried because you're looking at the way we've been attacking so far in this preseason. It's been shocking. Barely been able to create a chance. And then now you're looking at the defensive structure or shape, you know, when it's been put on us against proper teams like Newcastle and more like Bayern Munich, we've been, easily been able to play through. So I'm worried from all aspects. But look, it is Frank's first preseason, first summer, so maybe we're reading into it a bit too much. But let's hope he can get it right. That's the only thing we can bank on.
Because, I mean, teams like Bayern Munich, that's what we're going to face in the Champions League this season. So you lose, 4 of those games, you're pretty much out of it, aren't you? So, yeah, look, I hope Spurs pull their finger out and actually do some business between now and next week at least. But then again, these players have got to come in and adapt to the environment. So who knows? But hey, optimism, that's what we have every season, isn't it? So,
Stephen, don't worry, we're the European champions.
Yeah, that's good.
No one can take that away from us.
Hopefully, by some miracle, we'll be Super Cup champions next week.
Yeah. Look at this. You see this on the back?
Maybe on penalties.
You see this on the back? Winners.
Yeah.
Winners.
Some other clubs.
Exactly. Some other club down the road don't know about that.
Yeah. Well, whatever happens, we'll always have Bilbao, won't we? So
exactly. Stephen, always a pleasure, mate.
Lovely, guys. Cheers. Thanks a lot, yeah.
Cheers, mate. And next up is, I hope it's not Donna Cullen. Cullen. Cullen Jale, how you doing, mate?
Doing well, guys. As you can see by my background, everything is fine.
All good. Nothing to see here.
Everything is totally fine. Yeah, no, that was a long, tough watch of a game there.
Yeah. What are your initial thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, everybody's talking about, we need signings, and obviously I agree with everyone. There's a whole list, but, I'm worried about the outgoings as well. Like, why do we still have Brian Hill on the roster, Maynard Solomon on the roster, Ben Davies? I cannot believe he is still here. I don't understand that. We're thinking that he's our backup left back. That just makes no sense to me.
Yeah.
I think Frank confirmed he's going to be here. So
yeah, put some respect on Brian Hill's name though. Second highest, longest serving player in the whole squad. Yeah,
it's like, so what are we going to do? Make Ben Davies captain? I mean, Romero looked like he was very happy throughout the entire game. I mean, he could have been sent off twice probably. So yeah, it's just like, if you don't, it just makes no sense to me. I mean, for me, it's like, if I'm looking, and I'm biased, I'm American, but I feel like Anthony Robinson from Fulham would be a great addition at left back. I think that was somebody that easily could be, pried away from Fulham, even though he is probably like their most valuable player, in my opinion.
Yeah,
but
don't disagree.
What positions do you feel like we do need from now to the end of the window? Because I put out a tweet earlier about, we seem to be short in a lot of positions here. We don't really have a backup for a doggy. We don't have a number 10. We only have two 20-year-olds who are replacing Son. We currently have one injured striker and one injury-prone striker. So, like, what do we prioritize here?
My goodness, the list is long, but definitely. I mean, I think we're going to sign 2 more players. I don't think we've been asking for a backup striker since Kane was here. So it's like, do I see us actually going out and getting a striker? Probably not. And spending $80 million on Jackson is just, the thought of that just is sickening. Yeah, I would probably say a number 10 and a left wing. Personally, I just think it makes too much sense not to go get Grealish and just let him play the 10 like he did at Aston Villa when he was free, and just let him run that, especially with Kulu and Madison out. So I just feel like Grealish makes so much sense, and I feel like you can get him on a loan, maybe 75% of the wages covered. Whatever, that's probably going to be towards the end of the window if you were to pull that off. And then, yeah, I think wherever that Morgan Gibbs money went and the money that we just got from Sonny, like, use on a left winger, Rafael Leao. Like, that's the prime, that's the best thing I can think of, like Leao.
But we're hearing that we're not going to be signing a left wing. We're hearing Sonny going out means that we're not prioritising the left wing and we're going to stick with Odebear. Frank's been blown away by Wilson Odebear, and Matisse Tel there is as cover as well. So, I mean, last season we heard very similar. Last season we heard we're not going for a midfielder because Ange has been blown away by Archie Gray and Lucas Bergvall in the middle. So it's, again, falling into the same traps once again.
Odeberg must look like Messi in training because I don't understand that. But yeah, I mean, you asked what I would want. I want guys like Leao, Grealish. Obviously, Xavi Simons would be. I'd be blown away. But it looks like Chelsea. Like, look at Chelsea. Look at how much money they're making on outgoings. And we can't get Manor Solomon off of our books. Like, it just. I mean, I couldn't believe that Reguilon was still on our team last year. That didn't make any sense to me. So it's just like, that's a very constant theme, I feel like, that we've had for a number of years now.
Yeah, but Chelsea are just so ruthless, isn't it? Not working, gone.
Yeah.
And bring in the next guy. And that's
You
how they are.
You look at Liverpool, they've just got like over 50 million or something for Darwin Núñez. It's just like the Liverpool and Chelsea are just such unbelievable selling clubs. And then they go and put their money where their mouth is and bring in the talents that they need and fill the gaps that they need as well. While Spurs, we're just sitting on our hands in the transfer market consistently year after year.
Looking who's got 1 year left in their contract and who's just had a bad season.
You know what I mean? Just looking for consistent opportunities in the market. Never actually go and say, all right, we want this player, we're going to go get him.
Gibbs White, 60 million opportunity.
Yeah.
And that's why, like, you're looking. I could see them, if we did get another striker, it would probably be Vlahovic, just because he had an off year. You can get him for a little bit cheap from Juve. It's just like, okay, cool. Is that exciting? Not really. I'm good. Thank you.
Yeah, exactly. And what can we do? Like, it's such a frustrating time to be a Spurs player. We've lost players like Harry Kane and Son Heung-min, and I can't think when are we going to get a world-class talent in that forward line to kind of fill the void that they've left? I can't see an end in sight.
Honestly, I wish our academy could produce another Harry Kane. I mean, that would be the best case scenario, because for Levy at least, it really is. So,
and even those two players we lucked out on, Harry Kane from our academy and Son Heung-min as a second option for Saido Berahino.
Yes, yeah. Where did Berahino even end up? I haven't heard that name. So yeah, opening weekend is the day of my wedding, so it's I think at least I'll be happy and not let Spurs disappoint me any further. I won't watch them on opening weekend.
One word of advice for your wedding. First of all, congratulations on your wedding day in just over a week's time. But one word of advice: do not ask anyone for the score.
No. Oh yeah. Goodness. No, not going to happen.
Big up, mate. Thanks for coming on today, and congratulations for the wedding.
Thank you, guys.
Nice
Later.
one, Cullen. Talking about Cullen, she was there.
I know. Yeah. It was big news here. Don't you worry about that. It was big news here. Don't you worry about that.
Oh, no, she's returning. This is it. She's pulling the strings.
You know what the word was about her being there?
What?
It was a takeover. That's why she's still around the club.
What do you mean? What, she's part of the takeover?
I mean, handover.
Handover. Okay,
Yeah.
That makes sense, doesn't it?
Yeah, and that's
right.
why she was there.
She's not pulling the Charrington strings.
Apparently not.
She's not
Apparently
the
it's just a handover, and we don't know when this handover is going to finish, but it's a handover.
See.
But yeah, I think that is it from us today. I want to say a big up to every one of you that stuck around in the live chat and the watch along, and everyone that called in today. It was great to hear your opinions. However, Spurs couldn't deliver for us today. Next stop is Udine. PSG in the Super Cup. Me and Sim will both be there. Looking forward to getting out to Italy, and let's hope we can have a signing in or two by then, because we desperately need it. But welcome back, Sim.
Good to be back.
I'm sure it's absolutely brilliant to be back.
Since I've been back, Maddison's got an ACL. We've been battered 4-0, and it's all gone to shit.
And we've heard we're not replacing Son.
And we're not replacing Son. So good times, people. Good times.
We'll see you all tomorrow, where we'll go even deeper, get some player ratings done for you guys. That might be a bit brutal tomorrow, but we'll see you there. Like, subscribe, and comment. And as always,
Come on, you Spurs.
Come on, you Spurs.